We're joined now by head coach Scott Vossler and linebacker Donnie Warter of Robinson. Guys, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Coach, got to start with you. Obviously, last year you've been building something at Robinson. Bit of a breakthrough year for you. You guys go 9-4. You end up losing to South County in the regional semifinals. What was that year like, and did you see the improvement and growth you were looking for out of your team?
We knew kind of coming into the year that we thought we had some ability, some guys that could compete. We also felt like we had a very difficult schedule. So we kind of took it one game at a time. We didn't start off, I don't think, as well as we wanted to. Didn't think we played our best football early on, but it kind of woke us up. We played a really poor half against Lake Braddock, and we ended up losing that game. But the next week of practice, we really put our nose to the grindstone. I thought from then on we improved every week throughout the year, and we're able to win some big games and make a little bit of a run in the playoffs.
We'll have more with Coach Vossler and Donnie coming up right after this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new season of Top Plays here at OleMetSports.com and WashingtonPost.com. I'm your host, BJ Kubarulis. Now, as we've done the past 4 seasons, we're continuing our exciting, interactive high school football show that allows you, the coaches, players, parents, and fans, and others, to send in your video submissions for ranking in our Top 10 style weekly show. If you want to see your highlight in this show, well, it's as simple as tweeting your boy. I'm at BJ Koob, and you got to remember to hashtag it, Ole Mets. All right, you can tweet in your Huddle, YouTube, Vimeo, really any video link by Sundays at noon, and we'll consider it for use in the upcoming episode of Top Plays. Now, you got to remember to tune in on Mondays to see if your video made our Top 10 at OleMetSports.com. We'll see you soon.
We're back with Coach Vossler and Donnie, and of course, guys, one thing when I always think of Robinson football, you think of the wing T offense. And Coach, it's one of those things, it puts up such fantastic rushing yards. I played in a wing T offense. A lot of people kind of see it as an old school offense. What are your thoughts on it, and why do you guys still run it?
I think, first of all, as a coach, you got to coach what you know. My father coached in a wing T offense forever, so I grew up in it. So I have a great resource there to be able to fix things if we need to. I also think you need an offense that fits your personnel. And if you were to walk through our building at Robinson, you'll notice that we have an abundance of 6 foot to 6'2", 180 to 200-pound kids. In a wing T, you can utilize those guys at a lot of positions. You can play them at offensive guard, you can play them at tight end, you can play them in the backfield if they have good feet. So we kind of felt like that offense fit what our typical personnel would be in a given year. So that's kind of what we've rolled with. Robinson also has a history of the wing T, so we fit right into that as well. And it's brought us some success. I really don't think, though, you win with an offense. I think you win with execution. And, no matter what offense you're doing, if you don't do it well, you're going to have problems. And I think the reason why we had success last year is we were doing things well offensively, despite whatever offense we're running. So offenses are great. All coaches like to draw up all those plays and things like that, but it really comes down to, taking the right steps, hand, foot, placement, and all that stuff, and executing.
Also having some good players helps. You have a few guys back. Alex Miller, your quarterback, also Roman Lowry are back. Talk about what they bring to the table and maybe some other folks to watch on the offensive side of the ball for you guys.
Yeah, we have our quarterback back. He started as a sophomore. About 4 or 5 games into the year, our quarterback got hurt, and he kind of got thrust in there. I don't think he was quite ready that year, but it was a great learning experience for him, and then he played all year last year. Having that leadership is huge. Roman Lowry started very first game as a sophomore and has played in all of them throughout. He ended up with 950-some rushing yards last year. He's a very good player for physical running back. We also have a 3-year starter on the offensive line in Nick Bernacki, offensive tackle, committed to Navy. You can't duplicate and replicate what those guys are capable to do on the field with their decision making. Obviously they're talented, but they're also able to fix things themselves versus the coaches having to see it and fix it later.
So let's get over to you, Donnie. And of course, Robinson kind of known for the offense, but the defense has always been pretty good as well. What do you guys bring to the table on the defensive side of things?
Well, the defense we've had, I think we're very aggressive in a physical defense. Coach Neff just came over last year. That was his first year coaching, and I think he really transformed our defense. We're always flying to the ball, looking for turnovers, and I think we play pretty well as a unit too.
Of course, this will be your third year as a starter at Robinson. Obviously, what have you been able to glean from your time at Robinson, obviously the time under Coach Vossler, when it comes to your playing career?
Well, I think the experience is the biggest thing. Coming in as a sophomore, I don't know, I wasn't really ready at first, but quickly I came to realize that the whole team, as well as the coaching staff, was accepting and they trusted me. So that was really big in my career as a player. So over the years, I've just built up confidence and experience, and now I think I'm at the highest level that I can be.
And again, you're a good resource because you've been in this program for a long time. What's the difference between you got into the program as a young guy to where the program is now as a senior?
Well, I think over the years, the program itself has progressed greatly. Just as a sophomore year, we started out strong, but our team was riddled with injuries, so we kind of trailed off a little bit. But last year, we improved tremendously, and having a 9-4 season is very respectable. I think that the program has developed that much so that we can be considered one of the best teams in the area.
And it sounds like, from what you're saying, by saying a respectable season, it sounds like you want a little bit something more this year. Do you think the guys around you are able to go ahead and maybe bust through that kind of barrier and get to where you guys want to get to?
I do think so. I think all of my teammates all have high expectations this year. We are kind of hungry for a better season. Last year we made it to the regional semis, and our team knows what it's like to win a little bit now, so I think we're hungry to come back and go that much further.
Coach, we'll get back to you real quick. You talk about this team, and you guys have a very good team, but you also have that very tough schedule, the conference you're in with all the powers, the Westfields, the other squads, the Centervilles, but then also some tough out-of-conference games. Number one, who'd you make mad to get this schedule for yourself? And two, how do you approach that when, yes, you guys have a very good team, but you're playing a lot of very good teams throughout the season?
I don't know who I upset to get the schedule, to be honest with you. But when we first came out, it's neat in that I think our kids really enjoy it, because every week they're really, we say, anyone can beat you out there, and it's true on our schedule. And every week we go out there, we're playing a playoff team. I think there's 9 of them on there from last year. As far as kind of how we address it, one, we got to stay healthy. So we do a lot of things, limiting contact in practice, limiting our time in scrimmages. So we're still playing the 12 contests, but maybe we can rest our guys a little bit on those first 2. And then as we go through the year, continuing to improve and taking it one game at a time. Everybody on there, if we don't give them our full attention, will beat us. So we have to address that team that week and try the best we can to get a win. And win or lose, we got to move on and be ready for the next one, because the next team coming in is as good or better than the one before.
Coach, one last one for you. What would make a successful season for Robinson this year?
I always kind of approach things from a general goal standpoint. We want to play in week 10 for the district championship, have a shot to win, and we want to be in the hunt for that. And then when we get into the playoffs, we want to advance in the playoffs. We're, I think, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in the biggest school in Virginia. We feel like we have a population at our school that we can win with. So our expectations for ourselves are pretty high, and I think our players have high expectations for themselves. And then this year we got a lot of guys back. Normally that should increase expectations, but I think high school football, you never know what you're going to get. So we're going to go out there on week 1 and put our best foot forward, and if we can win that one, then we'll start worrying about week 2 after that. But until then, we're 0-0, and we just got to continue to work.
And you kick it off with West Springfield. Hopefully it's as exciting as matchup as last year, though. I'm sure you guys want to be on the right side of that one. Scott Vossler, Donnie Warter, thank you so much for joining us today. Folks, if you want to go ahead and stay up to date on high school football in the DMV, you can do it by checking out the PrepZone every week at DMVSTREAM.COM.